Okay, so now we are live. Hello, dear attendees, for those who have already managed to join. My name is 𝘗𝘪𝘵, as you might already know, and yeah, today we have another webinar from the series of subject webinars, and umbrella topic for today is very interesting. So it's cybersecurity and informatics, studying cybersecurity informatics in Germany. And yeah, I'm not alone, as you can see, which is great. We have some guests from German universities who will present to you their unique study programs. That's why I don't want to keep my word very long. Let me quickly jump into my short presentation, and then I will hand it over to our guests. But before I do that, just a small reminder to those who are not very familiar with the Zoom webinar setting. You can see the Q&A button just next to the chat button. So this is the main communication line between you and us. So it is already open. It will be open until the very end of the webinar, which means that you can send in your questions using the Q&A button, and then we will answer them either in the written form or live after all three presentations are done. So today we have three presentations, each 15 minutes. So in around 50 minutes, which means that we will start our live Q&A session, which will last around 10 minutes or so. So also keep an eye on the chat, because they will be sending some interesting and important information for you. So yes, let me quickly introduce to you agenda once again for today. So we're starting with Offenburg, Hochschule Offenburg, or Offenburg University of Applied Sciences, and we have Lydia Dantas-Schindler, and she will present her program, their program in Master of Science level, program Enterprise and IT Security. Then we are moving not too much far away to University of Saarland, and we have two guests from there, Professor Dr. Christian Rousseau, you can also see him now, and Professor Dr. Sebastian Hack, who will also join shortly, and they will present two bachelor level programs, one in cybersecurity, another one in computer science. So we have both master and bachelor programs here presented today. A very good combination. So you can ask questions about any level. That's good. So who is behind today's webinar? For those who do not know, we are My German University, and we are Germany's largest database of English taught study programs. So whenever you hear about programs in English in Germany, our name will definitely pop up, hopefully. And yeah, we have over 2,700 degree programs, master's level, as you could understand, also bachelor's level, and we also have some short courses and language courses. Our main aim, our main goal is to assist those international students who would like to study in Germany, pursue a bachelor's or master's degree, for example. And we do this assistance through three key ways. So one of the main ways is our study finder. You can see now on your screens the study finder, but it's a small version of it. Not all of the filters are seen here, but when you go to our website and you click on study finder, you'll see all of its filters, and you can easily find the program then according to your interests, according to your background. Also, for example, you would like to study in particular city, particular discipline, particular specialization. You would like to apply to English only taught study program without tuition fees. You can all control for all this, and then make quickly a shortlist, and then choose from the shortlist. So again, application process becomes much easier and time efficient. Another way of helping you is through our writing up articles. We have over 150 articles on various topics regarding studying in Germany, quite comprehensive articles where we make a deep dive and try to explain you all of the necessary details that you should be aware of. For example, we talk about online studies, about rankings, about studying medicine, about UniAssist, about letter of motivation writing, blocked account, and so on and so forth. All of these topics are covered. I kindly invite you to take a look, because yeah, they're for free. Why not? Also, we organize various webinars, approximately 150 webinars per year on different topics. It can be general webinar like UniAssist, visa, scholarships in Germany, studying in Germany on a general level, or the subject webinars like the one that you're attending right now on different topics. We talk about cybersecurity, informatics, obviously. We talk about logistics. We talk about management. We have webinars about engineering, different types of engineering, mechanical, electrical engineering. So all of the programs, all of the webinars that are already planned, you can sign up for them already. You can see them in our webinar section, and you can sign up for these webinars for free and attend them for free. And you will, we guarantee, of course, that you will meet directly the representatives of the programs, and you can ask them the questions like today and get the best possible answers, because they know the best about their study programs. That's obvious, right? So that's why I invite you to use this opportunity, and also I would suggest you to open an account on our webpage. By doing that, you'll be able to unlock all of the options that our website is able to offer you. And yeah, it's also for free, both opening and maintaining. We are not taking anything from you guys. And yeah, last but not least, also regarding our team, it's quite international. We are based in different parts of Germany and around the world, but we are based on whole office in Hamburg, in northern Germany, quite north of Germany. Okay, now a couple of words also about generally situation with studying in Germany, so to say on general level. If you are also interested not only in English taught study programs, but the German taught study programs also may attract you because your command of German is quite high. I would also suggest you to take a look at Hochschulkompass. There you might find some interesting programs when it comes to studying cybersecurity and informatics in Germany, but mostly in German. But when we're talking about English taught study programs, of course, my German university and our study finder should definitely be your stop. We have lots of bachelor and master's programs there regarding connected to these disciplines, and you can see that most of them are in English only, which means that you do not need any knowledge of German in many cases, in most cases, to get into these programs and to successfully complete these programs. So I think it's quite a nice first step for those who do not know enough German yet. And also to have a bigger picture, to understand better what does it mean to study, for example, cybersecurity or informatics in Germany. It's also, we have also several subject pages, various subject pages actually, on different subjects. And you can find, we have divided into certain levels, and you can read about various subjects, like what are the rankings of universities, for example, that are offering degrees in cybersecurity or informatics. What is the tuition fee that you should budget, for example, if you're planning to get to study these subjects, right? And much more general information. So it's a nice to have a bigger picture of what does it mean to study this or that discipline if you want to come to Germany. Also, our suggestion is don't be guided simply by sole aspects like only cities, only fees or only rankings. Of course, they matter for some more than for others. But yeah, you have to take into account all of these aspects together and much more in order to make sure that you're making the right choice of the program, which is crucial. Also, now I'm coming to an end. In Germany, there are two key types of universities. One is called Universität type of university. Another one is called University of Applied Sciences. Today, we have both of them presented. In German, University of Applied Sciences can have a naming like Hochschule, for example, is one of the variations. And on a general level, the key difference is in focus. So when we are talking about Universität type of university, we are more generally talking about research and theory. And in case of University of Applied Sciences, we are generally talking more about application and practice. Last but not least, regarding the importance of the search of the program, in addition to aspects that I mentioned before that you should take into account, also if you like to, if you're using our study finder, make sure that you are not too rigid with wordings, be a little bit flexible, and in combination with all those aspects, when you add flexibility, you'll make sure that you are aware of all the opportunities that Germany is able to offer you based on your interests and backgrounds, and then you'll be able to make an informed decision, which again is very, very crucial first step towards your successful future. That was all from my side. Now let's move to the interesting part of our webinar. So we are moving to Offenburg University of Applied Sciences, quite from the north to the very, very south of Germany. And we have Lydia Schindler, and she will now talk about Master of Science level program in Enterprise and IT Security. And you can see where Offenburg is located also on the map. Let me stop the screen share, and Lydia, you can take the floor.
Well, thank you very much for this wonderful introduction, Jordi. I will just share my screen now with you. Is that working?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So welcome to everybody joining the session today. I'm very happy to be able to present Offenburg University to you, and especially our international master's degree program, and in this range, our program Enterprise and IT Security. So I want to invite you to study in English here and live in Germany at the same time. And the first picture you see here is one of our main buildings on our main campus. And that's actually also the building in which you are going to study in case you decide to come for enterprise and IT security. So Georgie just showed you very fastly where we are situated in the southwest of Germany. It's a very nice region bordering with France and Switzerland. So you see here on this map again, the border, which is the River Rhine. And so we are very close to Strasbourg in France, which is only about 30 kilometers away from here. And in about 1 hour, you're already in Basel in Switzerland. So this is this corner where we are situated in. And Offenburg University is also situated in a very beautiful landscape, as you can see here on the top picture, and at the same time in one of Germany's strongest economic regions. So that's also something our students benefit from when they look for practical trainings, for example, for job after their studies and so on. It's a cross-national metropolitan area with the several cities around. Very dynamic region. Here on this picture, you see Strasbourg right over the Rhine, and very high employment prospects. And at the same time, we enjoy this beautiful surrounding and an extraordinary living standard. So that's something not only we benefit from, but also our students who come to study with us here at Offenburg University. Offenburg University is a university of technology, business, and media, which means, in contrary to the traditional big universities, we focus on specific areas, and those are the ones we are really good in. We do not have everything, but these 3 areas we focus in. We were founded in 1964, so we are one of the oldest universities of applied sciences. And offer, as Georgie already mentioned, also more praxis-oriented studies. So we try to give our students the possibility always to put in practice what they learn in theory here, and not only stay with the theory. We have around almost 4,000 students enrolled right now, and about 12% of them are international students. So there's a very international atmosphere here at the campus, and especially at our graduate school, where in which we teach all the international master's degree programs. We have a very high percentage of international students, so it's a very international atmosphere, and very all these programs have a very have students from all over the world, from different countries. About half of our programs are bachelor programs, and the other half are master programs. And we cooperate with over 80 universities worldwide, so that our students also have the possibility to go abroad, but we also have many shared research projects and many other projects together with universities abroad. And at the same time, there's also a spacious enterprise network. So we work very closely together with companies here in this region who work very internationally, and a very specialized international medium-sized companies in general. And those are the ones who are also looking for internationally experienced graduates who are willing to do and able to work in this international atmosphere, in this international environment, and projects that they have in these companies. And what's something that I'm sure, in case you decide to work or to study here at Offenburg, you will be able to enjoy the safe and friendly environment here. I personally walk through the streets here at any time of the night in Offenburg, and I feel very safe. So if you come from a big city somewhere around the world, this is something we'll definitely enjoy too. Offenburg University also offers you very well equipped laboratories and facilities with a close connection to industry. So as I already mentioned, there are possibilities for practical trainings, for projects in different companies here in this region. There you definitely can count on a small student-teacher ratio with a personal attention from our professors. That's something I definitely would look for if I'm a student. So, and I think this is something very unique that we can guarantee you in our international master's degree programs, in our program Enterprise and IT Security that I'm presenting you today. We will not admit more than 20 to 25 students. So you have a guarantee that you will be able to get that personal attention from the professor. And I personally feel that's also a very important point, is that our professors have at least an experience of 3 years in private companies outside of the academic career, outside of the university. And they bring this experience back into the university and are able to share that with the students too. Nevertheless, you also have possibilities to pursue a doctoral degree here at 𝘈𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘯𝘨 University. We have around 50 PhD students with us here right now. We do that or in cooperation with traditional universities, but we also have professors who have the right to grant a PhD themselves now. So I try to get the next slide. Oh, now it's reacting. But now let me go a little bit more into detail about our program Enterprise and IT Security. So if you aspire to go for a leadership position in this field of IT security, this is definitely a program you should look at. It's an advanced comprehensive master degree program in this area of IT security, and it will definitely open doors for you and help you to achieve your professional goals in this area. So let's look a little bit at the modules, the main modules that are taught in this program. They are listed here on this slide. As you can see, it covers all these important aspects of IT security and everything that has to do with it. I will not go into detail here, but if you have any question, you're very welcome to have a look more at each subject more closely, and also ask questions to me or to the coordinator of the project of the program if it only comes in mind to you later on. But you feel this is definitely a very nice, very good combination of all the subjects that you need if you want to work as a professional in this area of IT security. Once again, the slide doesn't forward. I'm sorry about that. Kind of slow. Do you have a little bit more time to look at the modules? That was not my intention, but here it comes. Security concept design and implementation is one area that people work in when they are finished their this program Enterprise and IT Security. But it's not the only one, only area our graduates head for and are successful in. So some of them also go for corporate management, or they work in the area of cybercrime control and investigation, including also evidence protection. Then system and security administration. This is also an area where they always look for professionals who are skilled in this area of IT security, or corporate certification. Then network specialists are always searched, or technology solution architects for IT security. Certainly, this is another area. And security-related software developers or system administrators are also an area where you can work in after this graduating from this program. So it depends on you, what is your specific goal, and what is your where you put your emphasis in during the program too. So I'm very sorry about that fact that the slide is not going forward. Now, again, sorry. If you want to apply, it's very easy to apply at Offenburg University because the graduate school has its own application process. We do all the application steps here at Offenburg University. Therefore, you can go directly to our website, the graduate school website, and there you find the link to the application tool and enter your data until at the latest March 31st. If you want to start next October, that's when the lectures always start. And after entering your profile, you can send this application to the coordinators of each program. And so if you want to study enterprise and IT security, the coordinator will then screen your application and give you a return if your profile fits with the search profile for this program. So you have to have at least a background in IT security in your bachelor's degree. This is the main requirement. And another main requirement is that you have an English language certificate, minimum TOEFL 99 or ELTS 79, sorry, or IELTS 6.0 in each branch, in each field of the test. So these are two main requirements. I also want a motivation letter from you, so that's also important for the selection committee to see what's your motivation to come and study this program with us here. And then you will get a feedback, and only then in the second stage of the application process, you are asked to send all the application documents that are necessary via the online platform. And then in order to get this, enter into the final selection and then get the inscription documents. What are the fees to study here at Offenburg University? For non-European citizens, the fees are 1,810 euros, counted all together, also with the services that are included, for example, the lower fees for our lunch caterer, and well, there are many and also insurances included and so on. But there's also a special fee from our state for non-European citizens. That's why altogether you have that amount per semester. And therefore it's also much cheaper for European citizens. You can see they only have to pay a small amount of 310 euros. Because in this case, it's the state that pays all the fees, the fees for the university. We do have some scholarships for which you can apply in order to get exempted from 1,500 euros enrollment fees. And in order to get these scholarships, you already have to be enrolled here, which means you can only be exempted from the second semester on, but not for the first semester. And I have to admit, we are only allowed to free and exempt 5% of our students. What can you expect else if you come to Offenburg University? Well, we do have a lot of support services for our international students. This starts in the beginning. We assist you even before you come here in finding an accommodation, so that when you arrive, you already have a place to stay. There will be a senior buddy who will pick you up at the train station, who you can contact before you arrive here with your question even, and who will show you around the first few days and explain everything important and show the campus and everything you need for living here too. So additionally, there will be orientation events for each program. So enterprise and IT security, they usually go to a very nice place here in this region for example, into the Black Forest Mountains, which are right next door. And there they have one weekend during which they get all the important information, but also have a lot of fun and team building events, and so that you also get to know your classmates and your batch and your fellow students. You also have an individual support and advice by the coordinator of each program, which I already mentioned several times now, which is my colleague, Mrs. Gange. So you can contact her at any time if you have any questions regarding the program itself. We offer German summer language school in September, in which you can start to learn or just improve your German during an intensive course for 1 month. And we also offer ongoing language courses during the lecture period, so you can improve your German knowledge during the whole program. Additionally, we have a cultural and social program, so we want you to have success in your program, definitely in your master's, but we also want you to have a good time here and get to know the German culture and have a great experience. So we offer excursions, get-togethers, and a lot more. You're also very welcome to participate in the sports offered. For example, we have a lake just next by the university. I'm sitting here, and it's only 5 minutes walk here at the lake, where we have a sailing boat. Or in about half an hour, you're in the Black Forest Mountains, and you can go for mountain biking and many other indoor sports, certainly. And yeah, a lot of different offers. And there's a very special project that I also want to present to you, which is our senior service. This is an initiative bringing together senior citizens and international students. And it has been very crucial for many of our international students in feeling welcomed here, getting contact with people from outside of the university and so on, because these people, and there are around 50 individuals who are working together on a voluntary basis in this group, and they just want you as an international student to feel welcomed here in Offenburg, not only at the university. They want to share the German and their personal family culture with you, and they also want to learn from you and your culture. And it's just a very nice project that helps you to get in contact with people here from the city and get help if you need from somebody else from outside of the university. So many of our students are still in contact with individuals from the senior service for many years and feel like part of the family. And there is also certainly support when you get to the end of your studies. There are job application trainings. And there's also a great recruiting event here at the university, which reflects the great interest of all these universities, not only in this region, but also in the big corner of these three countries. So in the three-country corner of Switzerland, Germany, and France, because many of these companies come here for this event, are really looking for the graduates of Offenburg University. And certainly, we also want to keep in contact with you once you graduated. So we have an international alumni network for the graduate school, and we organize events once in a while, and also invite you to get in contact with each other through this alumni portal. So it doesn't stop with the graduation. But let me now finish with inviting you once again to come to the Graduate School of Offenburg University and study enterprise and IT security. You will have an English taught program, which is taught in a small group. So you will have personal attention from the professors. You will have a very intercultural experience because people from all over the world apply for this program, and it's very international. And you will have comprehensive individual services that you can count on. And I'm sure once you finish that program, you will also have excellent career opportunities, because this area is definitely also an area that is very, that professionals are very much searched, in which professionals are very much searched, and you will be very well prepared for it. So thank you very much for your attention. If you are interested in this area, have a look at the program and have a look at Offenburg University. It's definitely a place to build your future. Thank you.
Great. Thanks a lot, Lydia. And dear attendees, also Lydia's email is in the chat. And Lydia, whenever you have time, please take a look at the questions and help me with that. Thank you. Great. Let us now move to University of Saarland. And now we're going a bit north, along the border, actually, as you could see. And yeah, it's Professor Dr. 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘁 who will now talk about Bachelor Science level program in cybersecurity. And then we'll move to Professor Dr. Sebastian Haag, who will present again Bachelor level program in computer science.
So welcome, everyone. My name is 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘁. I'm happy to present our new course on cybersecurity bachelor. I should mention that there have been many questions in the chat, and I tried to answer those that I thought would be targeting Saarland University. If I missed any of those, please just restate them. I'm happy to answer them. So now we're moving a bit west, indeed, towards Saarland University from Offenburg. And just for your reference, Saarland is very close to the French border. Actually, it has been part of France some time ago. And in that state, Saarland, there is one huge university, which is Saarland University. And this is the campus that you can see. So it's in the middle of a forest. It's a really nice, beautiful location. But I'm not here actually to talk about the beauty of the site. But I think what is important to you is that if you would like to do any computer science related studying in Germany, then Saarland is the place to be. It's kind of an unknown place to many, but it's actually Germany's computer science nucleus that is around. That you can see by the sheer size. Right now there's 900 scientists at the larger campus of Saarland, which we call Saarland Informatics Campus, with over 60 professors focusing on computer science topic. And many of those have been awarded with the most prestigious awards like ESC grants, Leibniz Award, Konrad-Zuse medals, and so on. I'm going to mention all of that, but it shows that there is a huge concentration of very strong top-tier research being done in Saarbrücken. This also is reflected by the rankings. So Georgi said, don't watch for rankings, and I'm sure there's plenty of rankings you could look at, right? We always focus on the ranking with respect to science, which is CS rankings, which ranks universities worldwide by their research output. And if you look at this ranking, you'll find Saarland University on its own on place number 4, which doesn't sound excellent, but actually you should consider that we have several institutions just next door to Saarland University, 2 Max Planck institutes, and also the CISPA Helmholtz Center for Information Security, where actually is my employer, which also are in Saarbrücken just next door to the Saarland University. And if you aggregate all this together, then by far Saarbrücken is the strongest computer science site within Germany. So having said this not only is strong in terms of research, but of course also in terms of education. And we designed several interesting research programs, research-oriented study programs for you that you can join. And today so Sebastian Haag and me, going to present just 2 of them, which is the Cybersecurity Bachelor Program and the Computer Science Bachelor Program. I'm going to start with the Cybersecurity Bachelor Program, which we started a couple of years ago. It is fully taught in English, of course, and you can apply. The motivation why cybersecurity, I think you can do many perspectives after the studies. One, of course, is the industry perspective. So I think it's fair to say that cybersecurity professionals have a 0% unemployment rate. So you find a job easily and you get very high salaries. That is also reflected by some studies, like I picked Gartner here, but you can actually pick any study, which show that companies invest more and more money into cybersecurity, like on average 40% every year by now. So transitioning from university to industry is super easy. But of course, there's also other perspectives that you can do afterwards. And one strength that we have in Saarbrücken is that we have a very strong market also for research on site. And we have a very prospering research area with a lot of publications in the top tier venues globally. And then also what we can also do in Saarbrücken is to found companies. So if you're up to do your own startup, this is also an option we can do. Actually, we have master programs that assist you with that. So whatever path you pick, whether you're from industry or want to go in industry, or whether you want to pursue an academic career or some entrepreneurship, everything is possible after this bachelor program. So now talking about content of the cybersecurity program, what you can see is that from semester 1 onwards, so this is essentially showing you by semester the courses you can take. So in semester 1, we have, of course, foundational lectures like programming and math, but also from semester onwards, we have foundational inputs to security, like Foundation Cybersecurity 1, where you learn about, for example, network security and cryptography, and Cybersecurity 2, where you learn about system security and software security. Then in semester 3, you have the cybersecurity lab, where you do some hands-on stuff in the cybersecurity context. You have a pro seminar, and later on also a seminar where you read papers, you learn to present research ideas, and so on. Then there's 2 like large lectures, like the crypto lecture here, which is telling you all the bloody details about cryptography, so the way of doing secure communication. And then your freedom starts in the program. So this is like the mandatory lectures you have. And then essentially you can select many topics of your choice, of your flavor, in these complementary lectures and advanced lectures as part of the program. And just to give you some rough idea of what that could be, so you have a lot of freedom already in the bachelor program. This is a list of topics that can be taken by students. So for example, there is technical, how I call it, technical lectures like side channel attacks, system security, security testing, wireless mobile security, and so on. Also more formal courses like formal methods in security, where you learn about formal method verification techniques or machine learning in cybersecurity. And also there is human factors lectures on usable security, IT forensics, or privacy enhancing technologies. And you're completely free to pick whatever courses you like in that direction. And all these courses are taught by faculty like me from the CISPA Helmholtz Center for Information Security, which I mentioned is just down the road on the campus, so located next door, which has 250 researchers in cybersecurity and 40 research groups, one of which is mine. And each of these groups is very eager to teach security-related courses at Saarland University. So that means that you not only have a wide selection of different topics that you can pick for lectures, but it also means that those topics that you hear are from complete experts in the field. So if I, for example, am a researcher on network security, I do have my own network security lecture, and you get really cutting-edge research results as part of this lecture. This is also possible because the strong scientific background that we have at CISPA. So I already mentioned that Saarland as a whole has a strong reputation for computer science background. If you now focus in to some subject areas, and now the subject area of security, and then you zoom out the whole world, you can actually see that CISPA ranks #1 by far in terms of research output worldwide in the context of security. And this makes it possible to actually give you top-notch lectures also, and fascinate you from the various security topics. Just to give you some picture of what that can be later on be used and what that means in terms of keywords, what you can do, why we have a huge selection of topics that we study at CISPA, which ranges from technical topics like, for example, securing drones and securing autonomous driving, to human factor aspects like legal aspects that I mentioned, or usable security, but also can be very important privacy-related research, for example, of medical data like genomic data, which we explore quite a lot also at CISPA. So that means that early on you get in contact with research, which is not only helpful if you pursue an academic career, but also will give you some important insights and quite deep knowledge for the companies that work in the related areas. Now, of course, once you're done with the bachelor program, you ask what's next, right? And we got you covered, right? That's the short answer. So if you finish your bachelor program, be it the computer science program that Professor Hack is going to present, or the cybersecurity bachelor program, You then have a wide selection of master programs at Saarland University. In the context of security, that is two alone. One is the entrepreneurial master of cybersecurity, where you can found a company as part of the master program. And the other one is a more scientific-oriented master program afterwards that you can join. And finally, if you are interested in research, what we can do, and which is unique, I think, in Germany, is right after the bachelor program, you can join a graduate school, which prepares you for a PhD career afterwards. So there's no need, strictly speaking, to do a master. You can actually do the PhD directly from the bachelor program for the most talented ones among you. And then once you finish all of this, like the master phase, then you go next and found your own startup, find an industry job, or do your career research-wise, either at CISPA or at Saarland University or any other site associated to the campus. So that means that you get an excellent education from semester 1 onwards. From semester 1 onwards, you also get education on the core topic of security, but you also have a strong computer science background after the bachelor. So that means that you get the normal foundations of computer science, for example, also programming experience, theoretical computer science, and so on. So basically get the full package of computer science plus some cybersecurity. And afterwards, you have the complete freedom of what you do. So there is a website called cysec.unisaarland.de, and there you can find all the information that is presented now on this slide, and also which I just mentioned. If you are interested, have a look at this, and I'm happy to take your questions. Now we'll hand over to Professor Hack, who's gonna promote you the idea of computer science and also gives you some hints about the admission policies at Saarland University.
Yeah, thank you, Christian. All right. Okay, so I hope that worked. Okay, so yeah, I'm happy to say a couple of things about our international bachelor's program in computer science. So that program is a general computer science program that doesn't specialize early on. So if you're unsure of what you want to specialize, then this is your program. You get a very broad education in many different topics and foundations that enable you to basically pick whatever specialization you want to do later on. I'm going to talk about the structure of the program a little bit in a bit more detail later. So maybe first about the site. One thing that I would like to add is that Saarland is actually a very international place. So 20% of our researchers are international. We also have international professors in our university who interact with you, or with whom we interact in English. So English is our working language, and it's also our teaching language. So the site is international, and you can get around the university easily in English. So you also see that 60% of our master students are international. So among the students, English is the prime language of communication. And I think for a German university, this is pretty non-standard. So typically the international student numbers are not as high as they are in our place. So we don't have any tuition fees. There are small administrative fees, but they're not high. Because, as Christian said, Saarland University is such a large campus with many different research institutions. You get in touch with lecturers and professors very easily, and you have an extremely wide range of research topics that you can go into further detail about, do your bachelor thesis, do a master's thesis later on, maybe also do a PhD. So you get the full spectrum of computer science research in many different research groups that are on site. So our graduates basically find, so some of them, of course, stay with us and do a PhD. Some of them also go to other places for a PhD. But you also have the option to go to the local industry. So Saarland industry is, of course, in a strong demand of computer science graduates. But we also very well network with all the top tech companies worldwide. So our graduates have jobs at Google, Microsoft, Intel, NVIDIA, you name it. So you get the education that you need in order to pass the entrance to companies like that. So some of these companies even have research sites on campus here. So right now we are having a close collaboration with the Google Center in one of the Max Planck institutes. And of course, there's also a graduate school in which you can go forward with PhD studies and get a PhD from one of the research group leaders that is here on site. So maybe I should also mention that Saarland University is one of the most vibrant startup universities in Germany. So it spun off a significant amount of companies and has won several awards with respect to the startup culture in Germany. So maybe a brief overview about the study plan. So the first 2 semesters, the first year is basically the toughest year in the entire program. You get all the foundations that you need to continue, and they're very broad and general. And then later on in your studies, so in the second year, you can start specializing and taking what we are calling core courses. So there's a list of different topics that I'm going to show to you in a couple of seconds that you can go into depth based on your preferences. So basically in the first 1.5, 2 years, you get the very solid foundation to specialize in whatever you want. And then later on, you can basically in the last 3 semesters, design the study program according to your preferences and interests. So that can be, for example, cybersecurity, but it can also be other topics like formal verification or machine learning, human-computer interaction, programming languages, whatever you are interested in. So this is our current list of core courses. So they span more formal, more theoretical topics like computer algebra or complexity theory, but they also go into systems aspects like operating systems or compilers, distributed systems, programming language theory, semantics, introduction to logic or automated reasoning, and maybe also more practical things like database systems or software engineering, and of course, also cybersecurity. So maybe a final word, and that is also relevant for what Christian has said, is our admission policy. So the admission to our programs is highly competitive. I want to mention this. And there's basically 3 ways in how you can enter our programs. So the first one is that you have obtained a medal in a selected international informatics or mathematics Olympiad. The list of all the Olympiads that we accept is on the website that you see down below. You have an outstanding aptitude test result in SAT, TestAS, ACT, JEE Advanced, Suneung, or Gaokao. So we accept a wide range of international aptitude tests, but you really need to have an outstanding top result. So you have to be among the best 5% there. Or you apply for an online math exam, and if that goes well, you can be invited to an online interview in which you're interviewed for half an hour and tested for your problem-solving skills. Right, so all the information is available on the web. You can see the website here. You can just also go to saarlandinformaticscampus.de, and then you find an overview of all the study programs and more specific details on the study program that I just presented. All right, so I guess that's pretty much everything that I want to say. And I'm also very happy to answer any questions that you might have. You can, of course, connect to us through Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and so on and so forth. And yeah, we'd be happy to welcome you at Saarland University. Thank you very much.
Great, amazing. Thank you very much, Professor Rosso. Thank you very much, Professor Hack. And let us now actually start with the Q&A. So thanks a lot, everyone who already participated in answering the questions. And still there are a lot open, but let us try to tackle them to a certain extent. We'll use another 10 to 15 minutes for that. And let me start with this, with the question for you, Professor Dr. Hack. Actually, we have just received this question. Professor Hack, is web development covered to a certain extent within the program?
So there are practical courses where you get in touch with web development, but we don't offer specific courses that teach you practical aspects of web development. So our policy is that you get the foundations in programming, and if you have them, so we have 2 programming courses that go into different kinds of programmings in theory and in practice. And if you mastered that, then getting into web programming is not such a big challenge anymore.
Okay, great. Thanks. And then a question for Professor Rosso also. There was a question regarding the curriculum. So again, in this regard, do you also touch upon computer forensics in your program?
Yeah, we do have one lecture which is called IT forensics, which looks at the forensic operation, how we could, for example, understand and extract incidents and clues for some legal law cases from computer systems. So this is indeed a lecture, one of those advanced lectures that they can choose to specialize in. So if you're interested in this is definitely an option. I'm happy to also paste a link later. Yeah.
Okay, great. Lydia, now let me get back to you with a similar type of the question in terms of, there was a question whether there are any electives, courses, or specialization tracks that are offered under this master's program, or the list of the programs of the courses that you provided is a final and mandatory one?
Yeah. Well, the courses are pretty much fixed. You can have a look at the modules at our website, Enterprise and IT Security. You will see the link to the module handbook, and there each module is described, and the details of the content is described also. But you will still see that there is still enough possibility for yourself to emphasize on a specific aspect, because there are also many works that you yourself choose the topic, and then you have the possibility to focus on the topic that you're interested in.
Okay, perfect. Let me stay with you, Lydia. I saw there's 3 questions for you on this the same topic regarding whether there are any application fees to apply for this program.
No, there's no application fee, and as I already mentioned, it's very easy to do the first step and enter your data in our online application tool without any cost. You only have to pay the tuition fee and the fees per semester once you get the admission.
Okay.
So
clear.
before the admission you have to pay, but only then when you're sure that you get the admission when you're selected.
Okay, clear. Thanks, Lydia. Now, another question says, for the bachelor's program, so Professor Rosso, Professor Hack, for you, do you have your own Studienkollegs for those who will need to do it?
So maybe I should answer this. So currently there is no Studienkolleg option for the international bachelor's program. There is a Studienkolleg like preparatory study program that is generic for all the STEM fields, so for engineering, mathematics, and computer science that you can take. But it's a generic program that enables you to go into a STEM subject at Saarland University. Unfortunately, that is taught in German, not in English.
Okay, clear. Good. Thanks. Now, general question, maybe for everyone. So are all these programs limited in terms of admission? So how I understood this question is, do you have any fixed number of people that you accept, or is it unlimited as long as I meet all the requirements? Lydia, let me start with you.
Yes, they're limited. Our program is limited. As I said before, we want to have a small batch of students because we want to be sure to give you that personal attention from the professors, and therefore we select our students very carefully, and we select around 20 students each year for this program. Okay,
great. Now, anyone would like from Saarland to start?
Yeah, we have also 15 slots per year for each of the 2 programs. So it is highly competitive, the programs, I have to say, but we still welcome the application, of course.
Okay, great. Thanks. Okay, so this was already answered. So another question, again, the general one. So yeah, regarding the PhDs, the question. So the question was, do you have any research projects that students could afterwards, or PhD research projects that students who are interested in continuing with academic paths would be able to join? Lydia, let me start with you.
Yes, there are projects, and there are also professors who are able to guide you there and We do have PhD students in the area of IT, definitely, several of them. But I have to admit, there's no program where like a PhD program that you can directly apply to. In case you want to apply directly for a PhD, to be a PhD student, you would have to apply directly with the professor who is who is leading this project, this research project. Mm-hmm. You will have, our PhD students have different statuses depending on their the offer that they got. So some of them are employees, some of them are students, some of them are having scholarships. So it really, each case is individual, but there are research projects and possibilities.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. And in Saarland, whoever would like to address this question?
Yeah, I can say something about this, or you too, Christian. Maybe you can add from the CISPA side. So I'm not sure if I understood the question correctly. So we have a graduate school that you can enter, but of course there's also prerequisites to go into. So you need to have performed well in your previous studies, of course. Typically, the bachelor's and master's thesis are scientific already and guide you towards a scientific process. And there you can basically decide whether this is something for you or not so much. And this is also the occasion in which you can get into closer contact with research groups. And if you do well there, people will be very, very willing to hire you as a PhD student. So funding and positions and all of that is not the problem, but you also have to show strong results. Mm-hmm. Another way in German universities is that you basically can apply for what is called 𝘱𝑉 positions. So these are scientific aid positions where you can interact with researchers in a research group early on in your studies and typically help out with projects, which is a good way of coming into contact with people.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree there. It's the same here for us, and also it's the same that it's easier for students who have already shown that in their master studies here that they performed very well, so that they already know that the professors already know them. So then it's also easier to get into a PhD position because they're already known and they have shown their performance.
Okay, perfect. Now there's a question for Saarland programs. It was to a certain extent addressed, but it was mentioned, I think, 2 or 3 times. This question was, so for when the applicants do the application, so they submit the applications, what would you say based on your experience, how much time would they need to wait until the final yes or no? The question is because of the visa-related issues, which we know that in many countries there's a huge problem.
Yeah, so let me answer this because I already answered in the chat also. For the bachelor programs, we have on the FAQ website of the university a schedule which shows exactly when you're going to be notified about the decisions. So I think this mostly answers it. And there are 3 application deadlines, one of which is already in winter now for the start in October, which gives you plenty of time to apply for visa. But also the other ones are normally aligned in a way that you can get the visa on time. Of course, this doesn't work out always. I mean, we know sometimes there's queues at the embassies and some wait longer. And we do everything we can to make it possible for students that join late to also not have a disadvantage of this. But I should repeat, in most cases, it will work out.
Okay, perfect. Now let me ask this question because I promised this person to ask this question. It was sent 4 times already. So Rohan, don't think that I forget about you. So can I apply for the university without APS certificate in case it is delayed? So this is for everyone, maybe good to know. Would you have any problem if the APS certificate is not provided? I suppose the student is from India, so they have to provide at least for visa. You will need Rohan, yeah, you know this. But for the programs, would you be okay if the person applies without APS certificate and then provides it a bit later during the process? Lydia, let me start with you.
as far as I know, you can provide it until the end of the application deadline. And even, you know, if you're, you don't have it until the end of March and you contact your coordinator and you can promise that you will have it until your admission, I think they will still take you into account during the selection process.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect.
But you will definitely have to have it before you get the admission.
Yeah, okay, that's a clear answer. Thanks a lot, Lydia. And in case of Saarland, what would you say?
The same applies to us too.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, yes, thanks. Lydia, now questions basically for you. I saw it several times. Do you have any, no, the question is, so there is no any previous grade minimum requirement, Offenburg?
No, there is no specific grade minimum requirement. The selection committee of this program, Enterprise and IT Security, they take into account several aspects. So they will definitely have a look at the subject you studied, if it fits well to the subject that you want to go for now, the IT security. So you have to have a basic knowledge in certain subjects that they just will check in the transcript of records. And so they don't only look at the overall grade, they look at specific grades of subjects even, and they also look at your motivation letter. So they have different aspects of the English knowledge, and maybe if you can even show that you have a little bit of German knowledge, this might also improve your chances to get admitted. So there are different aspects that they look at.
Mm-hmm. Maybe quick question, once again, quick question to you, Lydia. Student was asking if I have a bachelor's in engineering, bachelor engineering in chemical and process engineering, would I be able to take the course with you?
I have a great other possibility for you to study if you come from this area, because we offer a very nice international master's degree program in the area of process engineering. But unfortunately, enterprise and IT security requires that you have a bachelor's degree in this area.
Okay.
Or similar.
Oh, okay, great. All right. So there was also a question for Saarland, which I hope I can find now. Yes, I think this one, the one. What are the baseline of mathematics or programming qualifications needed? For example, Calculus 2, competitive programming instead of backend or front-end engineering, etc.
There is none. So we assume that you have a high school diploma, and this is where we start.
Okay.
So.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And so let me quickly take this question. How long will I be permitted in terms of visa to seek job after finishing the course? This is same for everyone. You will have 18 months job seeker visa after you finalize one of these programs, and then you'll be able to stay 1.5 years to find a job. And then there was a question also regarding working during studies. I remember, yes, everyone can work when you have your visa or when you have this Aufenthaltserlaubnis that you will receive. It will say that, yeah, you can work 20 hours per week. So it's also doable. All right, then Joseph, there was a question from your side where you can access the recording of the webinar. So as when we receive the green lights from all our participants, if they will allow us, so to say, to spread the word, here is in the chat the link to YouTube channel where you will be able to see it. And let me close now with a classical question. $1 million question. So I see it several times. I saw it. Lydia, let me start with you, and then I will address Saarland with the same question. Are there any opportunities of English requirements to be waived? For example, I studied my bachelor's or my high school for fully in English. Will you still require me to provide you with TOEFL, IELTS, or any other test? Or will I be free for this extra bureaucratic step? Lydia.
Only in the case that you have a certificate that your whole bachelor's degree was completely taught in English language. You may direct to this question to the coordinator of the program, and they might they can give an exception in order not to have to present the TOEFL or IELTS. But it has to be an official certificate of the university.
Okay, clear. Thanks a lot, Lydia. And for Saarland?
Yeah, so we have a similar rule, but that applies to your school education. We can waive that if you are a native speaker. And for us, a native speaker is somebody who obtained his high school diploma in either Australia, Canada, Ireland, New Zealand, the UK, or the USA.
Okay, very clear. Thanks a lot. All right, perfect. So we are already good in time, I would say, to share with you my official thank you slide to our speakers today. Great presentations, also even better answers to the questions, very comprehensive, both in written and also during our live Q&A. Thanks a lot for your the time that you invested, also for the attendees. I saw a huge interest in those programs, which is great. Thanks for your interest and for your also interesting questions. I hope you'll manage to get into one of those programs. Also, yeah, as I said, the recording, or when and if it will be available, you can see it also in the chat, the link. There were some questions that we don't have now time to answer also, but for general questions regarding scholarships, UniAssist, procedures of visas, etc., you can see, you can find answers on our webpage, because we have articles regarding these topics. You can read them and you will find most of the answers there actually. mygermanuniversity.com. And then the article section. When you have any more questions to our speakers, one of them at least, so you can get in touch with them. They all provided with you technical their contact details, where you can find contact details. You can get in touch with them or the other university or program representatives, and then they will help you to navigate through and elaborate more on the your questions. Also, if you'd like to leave us feedback for today's webinar, I also shortly put the link in the chat to our Google and Facebook channels, and then you can leave us feedback for today. That was all. And yeah, I hope to see you on our future webinars as well, dear attendees and guests as well. And yeah, take care for the time being, and bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.